Hello everyone, and welcome to my review for Black Clover Chapter 299. Now, I'm sure a lot of you are thinking, oh, Misk, I thought you said you weren't going to review Black Clover anymore. Well, the reason for that, once again, was that for Black Clover and Kaiju reviews, I really wasn't feeling the same kind of motivation for doing the videos as I did for most of my other series, and they weren't really getting as much reception as the other series I do. So I felt it would be better to cut back on the number of series I do and just try to maintain a good quality for the fewer number of series that I do. And then, like, almost immediately after, Jujutsu Kaisen went on hiatus. So as a result, I've had one review series to do every week, which is Kengan Omega. I've tried to do occasional Jujutsu videos. I've started getting back to Chainsaw Man, and I get like one Ragnarok review a month. So, I need to do something in the meantime, while Jujutsu is still on hiatus. So, hey, this week's Black Clover chapter is pretty fucking good. So, here we are today. Figured I'd talk about it a bit. It seems like the recent Black Clover chapters have been really short lately. I don't know why. I've heard that, Tabata's gonna go on break after chapter 300, so hopefully he's in good health after that. I mean, I hope he's in good health right now. I don't know if he is, because I know Tabata's had a history of some health problems. But the shorter chapters is mildly concerning, but as some people have brought up, maybe he's been, like, saving his energy for 300. Because the 100 chapters are always a big deal in Black Clover. So, I guess we'll probably be getting something big next week, too. But anyway, before I get into this week's review, I of course have to mention my subscriber goal for 2021, hitting 5,000 by the end of the year. So if you're already a fan of the channel and you're not subscribed, you might as well help me reach that goal. The other thing is my Patreon. If you want to help support me and the channel directly while also getting access to reviews for Solo Leveling and The Boxer, you can always become a patron. I've linked to that down in the description. Alright, I think I went through that as fast as possible. So, let's start talking about the chapter. So for the last few chapters, Noelle has been taking the lead fighting Vanica, and then Magicula, who's come out and taken over her body, I guess. It's been a pretty good fight so far, really good to see how much Noelle has grown. The Saint stage thing is mildly questionable writing, because we just kind of got like a new mage stage out of nowhere. But the moment was cool. Seeing Vanica get her ass kicked finally was pretty satisfying. And Magicula has been pretty interesting so far, if not for anything but just her design. I mean, it's pretty unique. I'd say it's the most unique of the devil designs thus far, and is pretty unique for devil designs in general, like, even outside of Black Clover. In the last chapter, Gaja got stabbed through the stomach by Lolopechka, who has been taken over by Magicula and turned into a demon, I guess, or a devil. I'm not sure if she's been straight up turned into one, or if she's just been possessed. I think they said she's been turned into one. I'm not sure how that works, or if that can be reversed, because that'll be some major problems if you can't turn her back into a human. But Gaja, my man Gaja, I was like, whatever. You're one of those characters where I'm like, you're pretty alright, and don't really have anything else to say about him. I like him, but he's not one of my favorites. But in this chapter, oh my goodness, Gaja goes fucking nuts. So, Gaja is pretty much the only spirit guardian that we've seen from the Heart Kingdom. We know there are other ones, but they really have not done anything. I don't think we've even seen any of them. Gaja's the only important one. And that seems to be because he's the best of the guardian spirits, or the spirit guardians. And he seems to have the closest relationship to Lolopechka out of all of them, and he has a personal desire to make her life better, to protect her and her wishes, and, you know, protect the Heart Kingdom as well. So he already feels terrible for the fact that 6 months ago he wasn't able to stop Vanica and Magicula from attacking the Heart Kingdom, and that resulted in Lolopechka getting cursed. Now, he couldn't stop her from getting kidnapped, and now being turned into a devil. So, in his mind, he's been a pretty worthless spirit guardian. He's completely failed in his mission. So, now, it's time for him to make things right and give it his all. And this is usually when a character really shines. Generally, these are probably their best moments, is when they do something like this. So, he uses a spell called Pulsaranta. It's basically like a taser. Completely freezes up all of the muscles in Lolopechka's body, and pulls himself off of her arm. Now, that means he has a giant, gaping, bleeding wound, so that's not great. And he has decided that I am going to go and destroy this devil. I won't let them kill you, I won't let you kill. And the wound that you gave me is not going to kill me. Because I'm going to kill myself. Well, in a more heroic fashion than that. So, because of Lolopechka's wish to never kill someone, Gaja's like, if she ever regains control of herself and finds out that I died because of an injury that she gave me, she is gonna be feeling that for the rest of her life. So, I'm not gonna let this wound be the end of me. I'm gonna go out on my own terms. I'm going to destroy the devil that caused all of this. So now Gaja is gonna 1v1 Magicula. How does he plan on doing this? Well, he's going to convert his very life into magic. I guess it just means using up all of his mana at once. More than all of his mana, surpassing his limits right here, right now. And uses ultimate lightning magic, Apocalypra Astrauza. And apparently, this spell is so powerful that Magicula's decaying world can't erase it, which is nuts, because this is a supreme devil we're talking about here, so the amount of power that Gaja is giving off to be able to overwhelm her spell is absolutely fucking ridiculous. And it seems like Magicula gets disintegrated by this attack, which is crazy, because once again, Supreme Devil, Gaja has shown off a completely different level of power than he has before by giving everything into the attack. All of his magic, all of his life into destroying Magicula. And does it work? That's the question. Because at the end of the chapter, we see Gaja standing there, and it's like his body looks like it's starting to crumble away. It's burnt to a crisp. There are like little pieces of him flaking off in the wind. And it's unclear what's happened. As some people have pointed out, his grimoire is gone. We see his grimoire just in the last page. I guess it would be the last spread. And then at the last page of the chapter, his grimoire is not there anymore. And the grimoires, if I remember correctly, are supposed to disappear upon death. So if his grimoire is actually gone, he's dead. He's very likely dead. Now, something I fortunately saw just before recording this is that there is a difference in the official translation and in the unofficial translation, because the unofficial translations keep in the little messages at the end of chapters, which I'm glad they do. It's unfortunate that Viz takes them out, because a lot of them are actually pretty interesting and insightful. And the little message at the end of this chapter says basically that Gaja is on the brink of death. And did his attack work? These are the questions. So Gaja is not definitely dead, but at the very least, he's very close to being dead. Now, what happened to Magicula? I don't know. We have this silhouette in the smoke. So there's an air of mystery as to what exactly happened to her. Is she alive? Is she dead? We're gonna have to find out next week, I guess. Assuming they don't cut away to something else. As always, the 300 chapter, or I'm expecting the 300 chapter to be big in some regard. I had expected it to be the reveal for Zenon's Devil. That's probably not going to happen because we're in the middle of this, but I guess we're going to have some kind of big moment or reveal in regards to Noelle and Vanica and Magicula. So maybe Gaja dies next chapter, maybe Noelle kills Magicula, maybe Magicula's already dead. And we flash over to Zenon next chapter. I don't know. Noelle is trying to muster what's left of her energy to get in just one more attack. We'll see if that will come into play next chapter. It might, it may not. Who knows? Maybe someone else will have to show up to save the day. I know Magicula says that no one else should be able to come and help her because of Decaying World, but It looks like Gaja may have just blown a hole through it, so maybe because of that it's possible for someone else to show up. I figured maybe Nozel would show up. I don't know. It is his sister, and the person who murdered his mother is there. It could be Asta. Who knows? Maybe Asta's recovered his power by now and he'll come in and save the day. I find that one kind of unlikely because I don't think it'd be very good for Asta to come in and steal the victory from the characters that have an actual connection to Vatica. So I have no idea. In my opinion, it could be any number of those. I'm not sure how likely they are. Maybe we'll get a full-length chapter next week. Who knows? Maybe because it's 300, we'll get a longer than usual chapter. Who knows? I'm excited to find out. Of course, I will be doing a review next week, because at this rate, I do feel the next chapter is going to give something worth talking about. If it's not, I mean, I'm assuming it will, but on the off chance that somehow chapter 300 is not worth talking about, I'll probably do like an Undead Unluck review. So until Jujutsu comes back, or whenever Jujutsu's on break, I'll either be doing a Black Clover or Undead Unluck review. So look forward to that, I guess. But yeah, with that, that's all I have to say about chapter 299 of Black Clover. If you enjoyed, please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and click that notification bell so you don't miss any of my uploads. I do Black Clover chapter reviews, well, whenever I feel like doing one now, but I do have a playlist full of them from when I used to do them every week, and I'll be doing them semi-regularly from here on out. Really, if there's a chapter that you think is really interesting, it's going to be more likely than not that I do a review on it, so you should subscribe for when I do reviews on it. If you enjoy other series such as Jujutsu Kaisen, Kengan Omega, Chainsaw Man, and Record of Ragnarok, I do videos in those series as well, so if you're interested in those, you should definitely check out my channel. If you enjoy discussing Black Clover with other people, or you just enjoy the content I produce in this channel, I highly suggest you check out my Discord server. I have a link to that down in the description. And since it's the end of the video, it's time to give a shout out to my wonderful patrons, Fuse, Neo, Dijon Redden, Anthony Chavez, Honey Mustard, Zach Rowitz, K-God, Chris Redfield, Moonshadow935, Rat, Ryzen 4K, and Artist. Thank you all very much for supporting me on Patreon. I greatly appreciate it. And if you too want to get a shout out at the end of videos, or access to reviews for Solo Leveling and the Boxer, you can always become a patron as well. There's a link to my Patreon down in the description. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys around. Take care.